Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I just thought I would just do kind of a fun quick video, well less than 30 minutes or less, on some pockets I've been making, and I'm sure these have been done before, but I have a whole bunch of envelopes. So these are envelope pockets, and I just kind of want to show you some that I did. These are collaged, and you will have tuck spot there, tuck spot there, tuck spot there, and then putting it on the page. If you do all three sides, you'll have a pocket, but if you just do the two, then you'll have a tuck spot. So these are just some that I put together, and each one takes one envelope, and I just kind of thought of a process. These are just single sheets of some really pretty decorative paper. Now I didn't use cardstock, these are digitals and other thinner papers, and then this is a pad of scrapbook paper I have. Let me see if I can pull that out. That's all just backgrounds. And I was super excited to find it. It's from Park Lane. I think it's Joann's, and it's Time Worn Textiles. It comes with 180 sheets. They're 8.5 by 11, which are perfect for, you know, putting in your junk journals, or using for background pages or what have you. So that's where I got these at. And this one here I mixed and matched. This actually was part of this paper on top, and then this blue went with this, and I just mixed it so that I could get a little bit of a different variation. And I did the same thing with this same paper pack. These were just the whitish weave looking, and I just mixed the pockets. So you could make a bunch and mix and match bottoms and tops. So I thought we would do a couple for the video today, and I'm just gonna put those away. So I have two envelopes here, and I thought I would do one with plain, or one collaged, and then one plain, just a single single design paper. And I want to do jelly prints. I have a whole bunch of jelly prints that I did, and I'm trying to use these. So let's do the plain. Well, the first step, the kind of the process I came up with, is I find it hard, I'm sure as everyone else does, to take a piece of paper, get glue on it, and then stick it in there, and then push it down and then cut it off. So that takes me more time. So what I did instead is I measured this way on the envelope. I guess that would be the, I don't know what that's called, length, width. I measured this way, and I just cut it a little bit, and I'm using old book pages from this plain geometry book that I picked up. It's a vintage book, and so I don't care that it comes all the way because we're going to be cutting it, and so I just want some of that covered. So this is kind of the process, now that I buried my glue, that I came up with to get these on. Oh, there it is. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get glue on these, and what we're going to do is once we have glue on it, we're just going to open it up. This is a little bit easier, and the glue's on the back page. You're just going to kind of push your hand. Your hand will get a little gluey, so you might want something to wipe it off with, but you're just going to put that in, and then once you know what's on there, then you're just going to stick. And that'll be, I found this method to be a little bit easier. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I just want to make sure I'm still recording. Yep. Okay. So just get some glue on these pages. And I chose the book page just because it's different than a colored page, maybe of the same paper. So that way it kind of stands out a little bit when I'm cutting the thumb holes. Okay, so now that we have glue on that, I'm going to take this and just stick my hand behind it till I get it all the way to the bottom. Make sure that it's, oops, that got stuck a little early. Let's try that again. This went easier with that whole stack that I made. Okay. Grab it. Nope, that didn't go down right. It's probably because I'm on camera now that it's not cooperating with me. Just going to get a little bit more glue on there. Okay. Let's try this again. All the way down to the bottom. Yeah. This is hilarious because I just did it with all those other ones and I didn't have this issue. But I think my bottom of my page, there we go. I think the bottom of my page is curling. So then I'm just going to make sure this is pressed down good so that it adheres. That isn't, so I'm going to add a little bit more glue. I'm not good with glue stick. I just want to make sure this sticks so that, there we go. When we get the cut in there, a little bit more glue right there. When we cut it, it's adhered. And this is going to make this a little bit more substantial too. Did I not get any glue in there? There we go. Okay, and so this, you want to make sure you can still fold this over. So we're going to do the same thing with the next one, and hopefully that one will be easier than this was. I just want to make sure that bottom didn't curl. Okay, so that inside of that's done, and we'll do this one. Let's get glue all over the back of this. I'm trying to make sure I get the edges really good because, like I said, I'm bad with the glue stick. So there we go. That one went in like all those other ones did that I did. And then I'm just going to make sure it's in there good. And I've been thinking about what I want to do with envelopes because I have a whole bunch of envelopes. No joke, is a lot. Okay, now that we have these in, now we're going to seal the envelopes. Find my other glue stick. There it is. I have a whole bunch of these Elmer's glue sticks too. This is much better, this Oohoo. This will work, but it's recommended with these that you glue your piece that you're going to glue on, and the piece you're going to glue on to, put this on there as well, and it's supposed to stick better. So now we're just going to seal this. And this. Okay, so those are sealed. Now, we glued those pages to the back of this, looking at it this way, so it's glued to this piece right here. So in order, the first one I made, I decorated this side, but what ends up happening is your pocket, I'll show you that one, see if you guys can see that or not. Your pocket, this one right, this is the one I stuck the paper in and glued, but this one is the one I stuck the book page to. But see, it's on this side instead of this side. So we're going to decorate the back so that when we cut them, we we will get the book page on the correct side. So now I'm just going to look for one of my gel prints. And see which one I want to use. I had these other colors at my grandma's house, but I did not bring the paint with me when we moved back up to Fairbanks. So I have like 5 or 6 colors. I just picked a few, and I'll probably get more at some later date. But these are with those colors that I have. That might be kind of fun. So I'm just choosing right now what I want to use. These, I actually painted these onto the gel plate, let it dry, and then painted another color and picked it up. That was really neat and fun. Same with this one. Okay, I think we're going to do this one. This one will be fun. We'll do this one. So I'm actually going to glue this so I can just place it on here and then cut around it. Get this out of my way. And I got a score. I went to go pick up some yarn and I found this bone folder, or I walked by it, and it was $1.99 on clearance at the Martha Stewart bone folder. I don't have one, so I was super excited to find that. Well, I do now. So I'm just gonna, oops, I'm doing the wrong side. I'm gonna let that dry, and I need to glue this side. And that'll be fine once that's dry, because it's just going to be the back where you can slide your tag in. So we're going to get glue all over this. And with the other ones, I actually cut the size that I needed, just with a little bit extra, just to make sure. I drop things all the time, so just stick it anywhere, stick it. I was playing, when I was doing the gel printing, I wanted to see how it would look on coffee bag paper. I think it looks pretty fun. Now, depending on how your glue, you might need to put a little bit more glue on the corners, but okay, so now we'll cut this. And don't cut your edges open, just right along the edge of the envelope. You want to keep your envelope sealed. Okay, I'm going to put that aside, and then I actually like to use my fussy cut scissors to go around the envelopes. I find it easier to make sure that I don't cut into the envelope. But if you don't have them, that's fine. You can kind of tell by, and if you do cut it open, you can always seal it back up. Okay, so we've trimmed around that. So there's our envelope covered, and this is going to be the base. You'll have decorations later. Now I've been trying to go through my scraps, so I have more than this, but that's what I pulled out. So that's all dry. So we're going to go ahead and get this surface ready. And I really like that piece, so we're going to put that one down and then build around it. This pattern is also from that scrap pad I showed earlier in the video, just a little bit ago. This also came from it. It's just so many fun, just pattern, plain background, nothing too crazy. Okay, so I'm going to put this, I think, towards the top. Okay, we got that on. Now I'm just going to build around it. See what we have to go with that green. I love purple and green together. Let's see what else we have. I love this paper. This is a digital from Lindsay. Love, love, love that one. Maybe I'll do some of those instead. These are prints from G Kerr. Oh, do I want this one or this one? This one. Okay, so I am going to put, and when you are collaging, because I'm going to use some words, and this is, when you're collaging, collage in a way that you know. So we're going to kind of cut like sort of from the center down to about here. So if you cut from here to here, this is your bottom piece. If you go here, or just flip it around and do the same thing, cut from here to here, this is your bottom piece. So you want to make sure, however you're decorating, your bottom, this is going to flip, and your bottom piece is going to come over here on top of that. And so whatever you're putting here, you want to make sure is the right orientation. And I'm going to want to put some like definitions, or probably a definition on here. So I'm going to want it on this right here. So I'm going to tear down on this. And I have been inking my edges on some of these, depending on, I'm only going to ink this edge because everything else is going to be covered or be on the other edge that we'll ink later. So get that glued down. And the ink I just used is Gathered Twigs. This down here. And I prefer to go over the sides and cut it off than to miss it. I do miss them every now and then. Okay, so we have that, and now we need, I think I'm going to have to tear a new piece here because it's going to tear down this. This because we don't want all that white. And decide which side. Okay, so we need to probably rip it down about there. That, okay, we'll do that instead because that's thinner. So, and then we will rip it right about there. Okay, so now I'm going to ink this. This is an old dictionary page. I have several old dictionaries, but I don't remember which one I was tearing this one out of. So I don't want to tear them all up yet. Anyway. One book to rip up for dictionary is plenty. That'll last a while. but I love the old dictionaries, so my dad and I came up with a game. Sometime I will make it up and try it out. Okay, so now we just need something for there. Let's see what I've got in here. No, I don't know if I want that. I have a lot of card in here I need to do something with. That piece would work. I'm going to actually use my Collage scissors so I don't take too much off because I'm not a good ripper. And just kind of get some of that off and give me a nice deckled edge. And then we'll ink it. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to ink this. There. Okay. There we go. So we've got that collaged. And now put that up, and I'm just going to trim around this outside edge for those longer pieces that are sticking over. And again, trying not to cut into the envelope. If you do, you can always seal it shut. Okay. All right, so now we've got that collaged, and I know that this is going to be my bottom. So what I did with my other ones is I get my pencil, move all this aside. I'll be using the ink in a little bit. I measured, so let me just make sure you can see that. Not fully, I'm just going to move you a little bit here. There's my ruler. So I measured these envelopes are 6.5 inch. I guess this is wide because that's the top. So 6.5 inches wide, and they're 3 5/8 tall. So I took half. So half of 6.5 is well, actually I did 3 1/4. We'll do, it's actually 3 3/4. So we'll do that. That'll be a little bit different than the other ones. I was doing 3 1/4, but I'm just putting a little dot here on that side for 3 3/4. And then I went up, what is this, 1.5 inches, and I just put a dot there. And I did that on these. So this is going to be the bottom from here to here. So we're going to do, since this side is the bottom, we're going to do the same thing, 3 3/4. Actually, I'm going to do this one at 3 1/4 down this way. 3 1/4 and 1 1/2. And then I just cut those. So you can use scissors. I have this cutter and I have the big cutter, but this one, they fit. And then I just angle these pieces on there. on that line so I can get my angle. And then they were like this, so what's going to end up happening is this is going to twist around and go there, and then you've got the stacked pocket. And we're going to do the same thing with this. We're just going to match those dots along that line, approximately. And then this was like this, so this is going to come around like this. So, and this is a different direction. Most of mine are the other direction, but this will be a different direction. This is upside down because I cut into the words. Still looks neat, but it gives a really cool effect. So then to get the notches in there, this is the only circle punch I have. It's a 1 inch. I let it do the angle. So instead of coming at it like this so you get the half circle, I made this parallel with this and cut my notch like that. So it gives it kind of goes around the angle. So we'll do that to all of these. And you don't have to punch it. I have 1 or 2 that are not punched, and we're just going to make it parallel with this as best we can. And then punch. And I honestly don't care if they line up, but they seem to work out pretty good when I do them. They're not terribly bad. And then do the same for these. And then this one. All right. And there we go. Now these, with the paper that we put to the back of the envelope and this, they're pretty sturdy pockets. So then to finish these off, just to get them together, I'm going to go ahead and use my glitter glue or whatever glue you have. You can use a wet glue. And I'm just going to glue on 3 sides, and I'm not straight. If I get closer, I get straight, but I'm too far away. Okay. So then I'm just going to line this up the best that I can. And I forgot I was going to ink around on the inside. I can do that with them together. It is easier with them apart. So there's a pocket together. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this one before we glue it. And I just open it, run along the back side and then along the front, and then just around the edges. And same thing here. And then around the edges. I am doing all the edges because when I glue it on, you can see the edge a little bit, though I think I'm going to be covering it up with some lace. And now we can glue that one together. And again, we're just going to do the 3 sides. Okay. There we go. And then we're just going to line this up best we can. I find that the envelopes aren't necessarily square. Okay. And there we have our envelope pockets with just a little bit of a twist of how to line the inside. And then you'll have, let me pull a piece of cardstock, something thicker. Here's something thicker. So when you put it on a page, use this as an example, you'll have a spot here, spot here, spot here, and a spot here. And these are ready for you to decorate. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video.